I care for what you believe in, and I will stand up for your right to have your own views and your own opinions. And so what are the kinds of things that you can do going forward? I would hope that we could use our time together today to talk about what are some of the things that we can do. Because we're several weeks away from the election. What are some constructive things that will help us bring our community together rather than rend our community apart? And so, with those sort of opening remarks, I'm now prepared to listen to your comments and also to answer your questions. There are a lot of people here, so I would just ask everyone to be mindful that we want as many people as possible to be given an opportunity to speak. And we have, where'd that microphone go? Okay, so we have one microphone. So maybe if you situate yourself kind of in the middle, and if people want to talk, maybe kind of queue up at the microphone, so that then we have a continuous flow, and she doesn't have to run all over the audience. And the questions can certainly be directed to me, to Provost Jensen, to our trustees, or anyone on our senior team here at the university.
And if at all possible, all of you guys in the back, you guys can scoot over this way. There's plenty of floor room over here so you guys can see and hear better. So please feel free to kind of position yourselves so you're able to hear things.
Oh, it's on now. Okay. For those in the room who don't know me, which is actually probably the vast majority of folks here, my name is Melissa Emser Herbert. I'm on the faculty of the college in sociology, and I'm a second-class citizen. I served 22 years with the United States military in various capacities, and I am a second-class citizen. And what Hamline University has now done is affirm my status as a second-class citizen. I have two questions. In your opening remarks in the new strategic plan approved by the board in May, you described Hamline as having a commitment, and I'm quoting, a commitment to equity, access, and social justice. And I want to reframe the question from one that's asking Hamline to speak against the amendment to one that's asking Hamline to speak against discrimination. And I am wholly flabbergasted that Hamline doesn't feel it can speak out against discrimination. It is already illegal by statute in the state of Minnesota for me to marry my partner of 14 years. We now wish to put, that's a distant we, put that into the Constitution, abusing the Constitution in a way it's never been abused before. And I'm really puzzled that Hamline University cannot stand by its mission, its values, its vision, and its brand new strategic plan and speak out against something that seeks to enshrine in our Constitution my status as a second-class citizen. I'll ask the real question and then I'll, as they like to say, listen off there.
Everyone to have a chance.
I understand, that's why I'm trying to make this short. But you know, faculty, we can never make anything short. Now I've lost my train of thought. In all the explanations I've heard, there's been discussion about how we cannot take a position and then foster dialogue. I'm willing to bet that if you talk to pretty much anyone who teaches in this university, they will give you examples in the classroom where the very books they choose reflect a position. And yet they're capable of fostering open dialogue. But my real question, given what I've seen in the last day and the last number of weeks, having worked on the Strategic Planning Committee, read the strategic plan, practically memorized mission, vision, and values, we're not living up to those. When are we prepared to open a dialogue about changing them? Thanks.
I'll give a brief response, and certainly any others are welcome to also speak to this. If we go back to the first question, which is how can we not speak out against discrimination? I think that Hamline, since 1854, has said that it is enshrined within all of our documents from the very founding, is that, and by our actions, not only what's written in plans and written within mission statements, value statements, is that the very fact that we are here in this time, in this place, having this kind of a discussion, and also encouraging that today, tomorrow, the next day, Hamline University, this learning environment, will be doing what it has always done, which is to support our students, all of our students, to support our faculty, all of our faculty. And if we see discrimination of any kind, we will not tolerate it and we will act on it. Now, I understand there's a difference of opinion as to whether this is an act of discrimination. Acknowledge. I understand that there are those who think that not taking a stand is discrimination. That's my point. But again, there are many others who think differently. So I have no intention of leading this university down a path where we would abandon our strategic goals, our vision, or our values. Next question.
I'm not really sure I have a question, but I have a few comments I'd like to make. You spoke of not, President Hanson, you spoke of not wanting to disenfranchise any of your students. And I want you to know that I'm personally offended by your choice of using the word disenfranchised to talk about students who are having their feelings hurt by not having the university agree with them, in comparison to what people like myself are experiencing, which is a constitutional amendment that would permanently violate our civil rights. You cannot compare that disenfranchisement. And two other points. Point number 2. You claim that you want to encourage discourse on the subject. Discourse requires opposing this amendment. If you don't oppose this amendment, then you run the risk of it passing, and if this amendment passes, discourse will be all but permanently silenced on this subject. Final point. You spoke of wanting to encourage democracy. Democracy only works when all citizens have equal rights. If you care about democracy, you have to oppose this amendment.
So in your opening remarks, you stated that you took into consideration the faculty and the views of the Hamline community. Well, last time I checked, this whole group was the Hamline community. The faculty was the Hamline community. So how can you say that the Hamline community decided this and that it was okay when, quite frankly, you didn't ask anyone's views? A few people wrote letters, a few people came in to talk to you, but you made a decision before the faculty even had a chance to finish the vote. Protest, we got the final numbers and read them aloud. Now, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was about
127 to 15.
127 to 15 was the number, and 6 abstained. So, to me, that speaks volumes of what the Hamline community stands upon. So how can you make a decision that, to me, feels like it's almost a personal decision of you and the Board of Trustees rather than the Hamline community as a whole?